Okay, let's unpack this. We're diving into a really fascinating source today. It's titled, Why Nepali Cry?
Hmm.
Now, right away, that title, it might make you think it's just about, tears, actual weeping.
Right, the standard idea.
But this piece, it actually challenges that whole notion. It argues that for Nepali people, expressing deep emotion is much more complex.
Yeah, much more multifaceted. It's not
Mhm.
just tears. The source talks about silence, strength, and stories as ways of expressing this.
Exactly. So our mission here is to kind of explore that unique perspective. We'll look at the specific examples the source brings up.
And it's interesting how, right from the start, it broadens that definition of crying.
Totally. It's presented as more than just like a physical act. It's a deep feeling, an outward expression that can take different forms.
Precisely. And the source then dives into these key areas of life where you really see this play out. It shows how these different kinds of crying actually happen.
So where does it start?
Well, first it tackles the sorrow around migration. Sons and daughters leaving the country for work.
Yeah.
It's a big one.
It paints this picture of the airport goodbyes, the feeling of sacrifice, the empty homes left behind. It's heavy.
And the source kind of poses this question, right? Like, how does a whole nation deal with seeing its young people leave? Not really by choice, but almost out of necessity.
Exactly. It uses this powerful image, suggesting the land itself is sort of watching them go, a collective sorrow.
Like a crying felt in that quietness, the empty spaces.
Yeah, the silence of those homes. Then, building on that, the source moves to natural disasters.
Earthquakes, floods, things that hit Nepal hard.
Right. Devastation that takes lives, homes, hope. And yes, there are tears, obviously. But
Hmm.
this is where the strength part really comes in.
How so?
Well, the source highlights that even while they're grieving, Nepalis rebuild almost immediately.
I remember that part. It used phrases like,
With bare hands, with broken hearts, with unshaken spirit, something like that.
yes, that's it. So it's not like grief, then resilience. No, the source suggests that resilience is almost part of the crying. It's woven into it, strength inside the sorrow.
Okay. And then it shifts again, doesn't it, towards more systemic issues.
It does. It looks at the pain when justice fails. When leaders seem deaf, corruption steals opportunities, the powerful forget the poor.
A kind of societal crying, maybe?
I think that's a good way to put it. There's this really poignant line, elections bring hope, results bring tears.
Oof. That captures that cycle of hope and then, well, deep disappointment,
Yeah.
that ache for fairness.
A collective sadness, yeah. A sort of quiet mourning for what could have been.
And it's not just these huge national events either. The source talks about the everyday struggles too, right?
Absolutely, that quiet, persistent crying. It mentions farmers in the hills, women walking miles for water, kids struggling through mud just to get to school.
All hoping for something better. Light at the end of the road, I think it said.
Yeah. These are those stories of just enduring, often expressed through that quiet persistence, the silence part again, carrying the burden, clinging to hope.
But it isn't all sorrow and struggle, is it? The source also points to moments of real joy.
Definitely. Big moments of national pride where, yes, tears are shed, but they're tears of triumph.
Like when a Nepali climber summits Everest, or a song goes global.
Exactly. Or the flag is raised high somewhere internationally. Tears flow then, too.
So that really shows the whole spectrum the source is talking about. Even tears we normally link with sadness can be about collective joy, deep pride.
It covers the full range.
Okay, so let's try and pull this all together. What's the core message here from the source?
I think it's really clear and powerful. The source argues Nepali people cry, but not from weakness. Not at all.
Right.
It's because they are, and I'm quoting loosely here, deeply human, full of love, full of pain, full of resilience.
They cry for what they've lost
Mm-hmm.
and for what they dream of.
And, maybe most importantly, they cry because they still believe in justice, a better future, their own strength. It's profound.
It really is. And even though it's rooted in a specific culture, you can see universal insights there, can't you? It makes you think about our own ways of expressing deep emotion.
Absolutely. Our own struggles, our grief, just about sadness. Or is there quiet strength there too? Silent burdens, the stories we live through.
Yeah. Which brings us to a final thought for you, the listener, to maybe mull over.
How does this idea that crying can actually mean silence, strength, and stories? How does that challenge our maybe more conventional, perhaps narrower view of what sorrow and resilience really look like?
Is it only about the tears? Or is it something much richer, much deeper?